Wrong. Alright. Let's get comfortable, right? Whew. It's December 29th, 2020. It's 5:39 p.m., right? And as it stands, I have about 19 CCRB cases, and about 16 or 15 of them are still pending, but are being investigated at the moment. And it's been 2 years since I started recording and jotting down all my stuff that people will see and are being published and certain different things that I'm doing. All right. But my main reason for this particular video is to explain the process of the CCRB. And if you don't know what the CCRB is, and you're having issues with police in New York City, CCRB is your best friend, right? You have an officer that is harassing you, that keeps on showing up on your block every day, doing things that are definitely not professional, definitely don't have courtesy to it, doesn't have respect. The 3 things that it says on the side of their car should be upheld and more. But the CCRB is the place that you discuss these particular problems with these officers. What I like about the CCRB is not like a blind system where they have never told me not once that they couldn't find a officer that I complained about with the minimum information that I had at the time. And I want to make sure you guys understand what the CCRB is going to do for you. The CCRB is the NYPD's way of tracking all the complaints. And at the end of the complaint that you file with the CCRB coordinator that you work with will submit a review of what she thinks the police officer did and what should happen to that police officer. And those girls are the ones that deserve most of the credit, honestly, for whatever happens to the officers after you survive whatever incident you survive, with the police in New York City. So the CCRB process is very simple. It's just a process that you don't think you would get into, especially coming from Brooklyn, New York, man, like me. I never thought I would be reporting police officers, right? Because I never felt the need. I thought police officers were always doing their job. Oh, sorry, officer. Whatever he did was okay. And obviously I did something wrong to make him do something to me. And officers that go outside with a chip on their shoulder, officers that have a bad rap with the neighborhood, they go out mad every single day. Those officers are making the neighborhood worse, because what you do is you're antagonizing people that are trying to be good. You got to remember, everybody's not 100% good, even the officers that are out there, and this is why we have the problems that we have. So when they come to you as an authority figure, and they forget about being a human being and what it would be like if the roles were reversed. How would you feel, and how would you want to be treated? So we go into those little problems with officers, and then the problem is the neighborhood, the switching of the officers depending on the neighborhood that they live in. So if an officer lives in Brooklyn, they more than likely gonna send him out to Queens or the city. And if an officer lives in the city, and he'll be in Brooklyn, or a guy that's from Jersey will come to Brooklyn, Long Island will come to Brooklyn. The Bronx guys, Westchester, come to Brooklyn. Your Staten Island dudes come to Brooklyn, right? Or whatever way else. I don't know this for a fact, guys. This is just my opinion, but I'm pretty sure I got a idea of how the system works. And you're welcome to disagree whenever you want to disagree. But this is what I think, right? So you have this process with the police officers that come to your neighborhood and they do a bunch of stupid things, right? Whenever a police officer interacts with you, not you interact with him or her, they have to interact with you. They are required to provide identification verbally and physically. And if they don't have it physically, then they could recommend that you meet them at the precinct at a later time and kind of get it from them. But they should be able to write it down on a piece of paper or tell it to you verbally a bunch of times. Most of the time, when a cop is doing something wrong, he's refusing to identify, or he tries to conceal his name and badge number. Those are the two most important things, all right? And that's what you're looking for. So anytime you have an issue with an officer, looking for a name and badge number, they're required to give you a business card if they interact with you. So you should ask for a business card anytime an officer interacts with you. And that would change the dynamics, right? So back to the CCRB. My first original complaint was that very reason right there was that officer refused to give me his business card. And that case got substantiated, and that officer got command level training, which is pretty much his lieutenant or his superior saying, you did this wrong, this is what you got to do next time, make sure you have your business card on you. And that's pretty much it. But it is a slap in the face when you have to tell a grown-ass man what he should be doing on his job, especially as a police officer. So once you check him on that, you will see how much they respect you. All right? And that's only if you have a bad officer. Honestly, I've never asked for business cards from good cops. I never had to. I don't need their information. I'm going to get their information. And when I get it, I'm not going to use it because they're not the bad guys. Right? So, boom. So, CCRB process, right? Go to the website, www.nyc.gov, right? I think /CCRB, or you can put it in Google and it's going to come up. This little blue box says file a complaint. File a complaint. The key things that you need is the officer's name and badge number. If you can't find the officer's name and badge number, if you get the car license plate that they drove off in after you had your incident, that will very well tell which officers are in that car, and you could choose from those officers later on at a later date. So a lot of people don't know this. So this is what you guys gotta learn. This is what I'm trying to tell you. Name and badge number, right? So that's the first thing you need for the CCRB. But then again, after that, you will basically go and explain what happened with your situation. The CCRB would then take your complaint. They will investigate the complaint, and they would then, like I said, distribute out a discipline letter to the NYPD, and the NYPD will have to react on that particular discipline, right? So we're going to wrap this one up because we spoke about it a lot, but CCRB is very important, and those are the pretty much the guidelines of it. I definitely encourage everybody to report every single officer that you have a bad encounter with. If it's not documented, it didn't happen. I learned that a long time ago, and I recommend that all you guys should take that into consideration. you guys can really change your neighborhood by working together with the police. And the way you work together with them is weeding out the bad ones and not making the police actually have to turn on themselves, right? If a person in the neighborhood could weed out bad officers and remove them from that environment, the good officers will have nothing but a great place to thrive in. So that's my closing notes on that one. All right.